Okay, I'm recording.
Okay. How's Pokemon going? Oh, well, we'll get to that anyway. But...
That was the weirdest way to start. Jesus
I was just genuinely
Christ.
curious. Anyway, I do have a question for you, Jay.
Okay.
Which I thought about.
Oh no.
So here's the question, okay?
Yeah.
I can't see you over there. Hold on. Fucking hell. I need to sort this mic layout. It is not working for us.
For you?
Here's the question. Is a game worse if you don't want to play it, even if you haven't played it for years? So, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Yeah.
I've played that game quite a bit.
Yeah,
to the point
me too.
where I don't really want to play it anymore. But a game like Witcher 3, which I've probably played slightly less, maybe, but like roughly the same ballpark, right? Hundreds of hours. I would happily go play again. So my question to you is a game worse off, or is it worse if you don't want to play it?
I don't really understand the question. Do you want to like reword
The
it?
question is.
Make it simple, because this is tough.
Do I like The Witcher 3 more than I like Oblivion because I can still go back and play The Witcher 3 and I don't really want to go back and play Oblivion?
It could be a bunch of factors, just being mood at the time in general. But I think as like maybe like an overall, yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to think like what the comparison is for me too. Actually, like what game do I like coming back to?
Surely Street Fighter 4 is a game you wouldn't want to play again, but like another fighting game like Killer Instinct you wouldn't mind playing
guess
again,
that's a good comparison. But I'm just trying to think of like an old game that I've put hundreds of hours into that I wouldn't want to play versus another game that I've put hundreds of hours. I mean,
what about Final Fantasy 15 and 13?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to go back and play those. So yeah, but again, they're like my favorite, like some of my favorite games of all time. So I guess no is the answer to your question. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you're not in the mood for it right now.
I agree.
We'll go with no. I like how you changed my opinion just to like because you worded it differently, different perspective. Oh, that's weird.
What?
You literally just like IRL just changed my mind by giving me a different perspective.
Boom.
Boom. Roasted. Yeah, I was going to mention that a little while ago, and I thought I'll wait till the podcast starts.
Dude, the house it's in the messiest it'll probably ever be.
I feel like you should leave that there forever now. It's just like part of the
decor.
Just part of it now,
Oh my god. All right, Jay.
Much like how my light switch is part of the background sometimes.
Your bathroom.
My bedroom light switch. Yeah.
I was about to combine that word, but then I just realised that both ends of the word is the same.
Yeah, right. wouldn't really work.
You can't have a. Yeah, you could have a bed bath switch, but that's
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh god.
The only reason we know about that is because of American buddy movies. We don't have Bed Bath and Beyond over here, do we?
What is it?
It's like a shop where you go to buy
your
bedroom stuff, bathroom stuff, and beyond. But primarily bedroom and bathroom
house
stuff.
Furniture?
Yeah, basically just like house stuff.
Right.
It's a bit like The Range, I guess. Probably the closest comparison.
The Range is a funny name,
or maybe like B&Q or a Homebase, maybe. But although B&Q and Homebase is more like Home Depot, so maybe not.
Who knows, bro?
Getting into the nitty gritty.
Jay, I want to start off this week by introducing us properly, because I don't usually do that.
Okay.
So, this is the TGO show. Welcome, one and all. This is a video game podcast where me and Jay talk about video games every week. Sometimes it goes out every week, sometimes it doesn't, depending on if I've got a new kitchen or not. So, we are currently pending the new kitchen going in. So, everything's chaos, hence the ironing board. So, it will go out when it goes out. And then that's that. Usually, hopefully, it's Saturday morning. and we also like to talk about loads of stuff: old games, new games, current games, boring games, good games, COD games, Pokemon games, news and
Primarily
stuff.
Pokemon games.
Primarily Pokemon for you.
Yeah, for me.
I like
At the moment,
asking you
at least,
questions.
anyway.
Yeah, sure. So let's begin, Jay.
Yeah.
So if you haven't tuned in for the last few weeks, I basically have been telling me and Jay had this conversation a few weeks ago on the podcast. It basically changed my gaming perspective and like massively influenced what games I'm playing. And I just want to talk to you, Jay, about the fact that
I'm sorry.
now revisited. Yeah, my gaming back catalogue has now just gone through the fucking roof, Jay.
I know.
No,
I think mine has too.
So I just want to speak to you about the fact that I have been revisiting old games that I previously dusted off the windowsill because I didn't think they were good enough for me.
I gave you a new perspective.
Correct.
I think I gave myself one as well, because there's certain games I definitely wouldn't have wanted to have touched again, you know, well, at least soon, at least, you know.
And some of those games are Hades, Hollow Knight.
I need to play more Hades again, because I got pretty far on the Switch, but I've hardly touched it on Xbox.
Did you get past Elysium?
I think I got to the end.
Oh.
I want to say. I think I did complete a one run, and then that's my only once.
I'm desperate. I'm desperate to complete one run.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty difficult, but if you get good at the game, it's not too bad.
Well, 23% of people have completed one escape attempt on Xbox, which I think that's fucking mental.
No, that's a quarter. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but Jay, like some people don't even get the tutorial achievement on a game.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It depends on Game Pass and stuff, but anyway, obviously that's a joke to us because I was playing Skull and Nexus earlier. Anyway. So one of the so those are some of the games. Division 2, obviously, a game we just came off. That's another game. And one of the games also, Jay, was Gears 3 that I'm playing with Will, just because I never actually completed it on Insane.
Oh, okay. I feel like I did 1 and 2 on Insane. Yeah, you might be right. I might have done the same. Did I ever play Gears 3
as well?
Yeah, I think Gears 3 was the last Gears I played. And I remember when Gears 3 ended, I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't need any more Gears.
A bit like Halo Reach, right?
Same thing. Yeah, I sort of hit Halo like the end of 3, the start of Reach and ODST, and I was just like, oh, I'm done. I can't. I haven't even bothered to try Infinite. I don't know if I'm even that bothered, honestly. I have it installed, but I'm not bothered to play it at the
minute. Have you played Hollow Knight?
No, but I know what it is.
Okay.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you meant Shovel Knight. I played Shovel Knight, but not Hollow Knight.
Do you like Shovel Knight?
Shovel Knight's great, yeah.
I keep having an hour about that.
Well, I like Mega Man, sort of Metroidvania type games.
Well, I love Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but I hate Mega Man, so I don't.
No, I love Mega Man. Mega Man's great.
Okay. All right.
I have the Legacy collection. It's pretty fun.
Sweet. What, both of them? Just the first one, or?
I can't remember which one I have.
Oh, fair. All right. Well, that was pretty much it, Jay. That was basically all of what's run through. Oh no, that's a lie. I've remembered what I wanted to talk about, Jay.
Go on, then.
What I wanted to talk about was revisiting old games.
There it is.
Specifically, I suppose in this instance, the beauty of backwards compatibility on Xbox.
Yeah, true. It is kind of amazing.
I mean, like, it's amazing, really, that we see it as a feature because obviously, I guess pre 360 era, like it was a norm, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's not a norm, and so it's like it's something that we appreciate, but maybe we shouldn't have to appreciate, if you know what I mean. But anyway, it is what it is. We do appreciate it. So, Jet, I just wanted to talk to you about how that has changed over the years, maybe, and what it's like now in terms of how much do you revisit old games? Do you like doing it? What's your process? Do you actually dive into them like deeply? You know, like if you guys have listened to the show much, you know that like suddenly one week Jay will be like, yeah, I'm playing Scarlet Nexus and I'm like gonna finish it, and I'm like, what? You haven't touched that game in like a year? And he's like, yeah, just in the mood. Something
hit me.
Or I might come on and go like, Oh yeah, by the way, I'm playing the 360 version of Skyrim because I never did the DLC, and people are like, "What?" But it is what it is.
I kind
So
of
yeah,
got
I
that
just want
feeling a little bit recently, actually.
go
Not
on.
not with like an old game, but I was really like I was thinking to myself, I'm actually tempted to still do this, but I really want to play Fallout 4.
Mm.
Like, there's a part of me that I've done this so many times where I've installed Fallout 4, I'll play it for 10 minutes and go, yeah, I'm good. I do that so often, it pisses me off, honestly.
I like your purple jumper, by the way.
It's not purple.
Blue.
It's weird because on camera it is purple, but it's actually like a really deep green. That's really odd how on camera it's like bluey purple, but it's genuinely like green.
Jay, I'm telling you now, if 10 people watch this on YouTube, we have
Hang
just hit
on.
the big time because we have got a gold blue dress situation happening right
We
here.
kind of
'Cause
have.
that is
Hang on, it might just be
dude,
the
that is
lighting.
fucking purple. Oh, I see it coming through now.
Is it just the
Nah,
lighting? I
I
don't
mean it
know.
still looks purple, bro.
No, it's very,
What the
it's like a very deep green, like very dark green.
fuck? I don't think. I mean, you know what I mean.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, anyways, mate. Anyways, yeah. So sometimes you'll install a game. Oh, I've done that. You know, like you
Yeah,
start playing and you're like, oh, I don't want to play this.
it pisses me off, especially like when you're in that mood where you're just jumping between game and game. You're just like, oh, I want to play. I want to like stick on something, but I can't because my mood just doesn't let me. I do that so often. It's really annoying.
What about previously when you were a kid playing, PS2, maybe 360 is a great example. Dude, do you think we'll ever get a generation where it will be like it was for the 360, or do you think that basically we're at a point in our lives where, that's not going to be able to be replicated because we had more time than ever to game at that point, right?
Do you mean like we're not
In
gonna
terms of
have the
fondness.
same? Oh,
You
fondness.
you know what I mean? Like the same great games
Um,
coming
I
consistently.
feel like I have like a small amount of fondness for that time, but I feel like I probably have more, if not an equal amount, for like 2020. Just because I managed to do so much gaming during that year.
Hmm.
But like it just depends more on how much you play versus when. You know, like I feel like playing back then, just because we didn't really have as much of responsibility, versus now when we have a lot more, so we don't have as much time. I don't know. I'm guessing it's probably different for you, right?
No. I feel you though. Like those old games will always be there, so you could
Yeah,
you could have the best year
it
of
had its
gaming
time,
ever.
you know.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
had its it
All right.
has its time, has its place.
So
I
back to
don't
the
think we're
original
gonna get
question
that
then.
again.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
when you're like a kid and playing 360 and whatever else, you might have GameCube, I don't know, DS,
GameCube,
PSP.
wow, yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was a good time.
Oh yeah.
Pokemon Colosseum, Pokemon XD, some of my
Oof.
favorite times.
How did we not connect over Colosseum? Or maybe we did. I can't
I
remember.
think we did,
Did we?
just very
Okay.
small. I remember going around yours and watching you play it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, I think I do.
So yeah, what was your? Were you like me in the sense that obviously you could only have so many games, so you really did kind of play the library of games you had? Like, what was your? Did you revisit old games much when you were a kid, or when were you done where you were done? You know what I mean?
My memory of gaming before the age of like 13 is very hazy. Like I've
Mm,
sort of gotten to that age now where my younger memories are starting to go.
mm,
I just can't remember. It's all gone. Like I can't remember what happened like 8 or 9 years ago. Honestly,
I feel you.
I'm everything like every year that passes, like another year that I would have remembered last year is just not being remembered anymore. Like I feel like my brain hit capacity quite a while ago, and everything that's being replacing like new things are replacing old memories. So I'm just sort of like
Yes.
this line
Yes.
is moving along where like 13, 14 is disappearing and 26, 27 is starting to appear.
Yeah.
There's like a decade's worth of stuff that I can only hold on to. And
Yeah.
as the timeline moves, it just like things leave and other things replace it. It's like literally having to delete old memories to add new ones. Like the hard drive is just full, and I can't buy more. That's as much as I got.
Yeah.
You know, I got like
You'll
10
have to
gigs. That's all
delete
I got.
knowledge, right? You'll have to delete your knowledge of the solar system, like
Kinda,
Sherlock, and just
yeah. Like there's some things that have to stay, like being able to talk and
yeah.
remember my
Right.
name, stuff like that.
Being
You
able
know,
to know how to eat, yeah.
yeah, all this kind of stuff. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that would be a F off, Nick. I can't remember, I suppose,
What?
right? Like,
What do you mean? Like, I can't remember. What do you mean? What?
in, how did you revisit many, old
When I
games
was
when you were
younger, probably yes. I feel like I do now. Actually, there's one game that I come back to a lot, which you might be surprised by, which is Dragon Age 2.
Shut the front door.
It's one of my
What?
favorite 360 games, Dragon Age 2.
What? So you're telling me like it's a rainy day, Nick's left me alone. I'm gonna hop on Dragon Age 2,
Sometimes, yeah.
bro. What?
It's just a really good game. It's definitely my favorite Dragon Age.
Dude, we are gonna be hunted down and killed for the opinions on this podcast, dude.
We're so
People
odd.
fucking hate Dragon Age 2.
Nah, Dragon Age 2 is my favorite one. Are you kidding?
Oh, Jay.
What?
Oh, Christ.
It's
No,
awesome.
good
What do you
shit.
mean?
Mate, I haven't played them, but from what I can tell,
Yeah, you
people
have.
do not like Dragon Age 2.
You've played
I
Dragon Age 2.
No.
Screw you. Yes, you have.
I haven't.
You should.
If I did, it was for 10, 20 minutes max.
Fine.
Right, anyway. Why is that a game you like to go back to?
I don't know. I feel like I have fond memories of it. It's like one of those ones that's just super easy to like do a mission on or whatever.
Have you not completed it then?
Yeah, I've completed it a number of times. I haven't played it in a while though. I think I used to do that. I haven't played it recently in a long time. I'm trying to think the one
you
game I do
maxed?
come back to. Actually, I go on Cyberpunk a lot. I'll like jump on
Oh, you
that.
do? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just like run. I'll literally just drive around and just look at the scenery. And if any
That's
enemies come
amazing.
across, I'll just shoot them down.
See,
Test
'cause
out
that's
weapons.
almost like a Nick approach there, in terms of like just taking this time, just like looking at bullshit,
Well,
what I
no,
mean?
it's just more of a like living in a different world almost. It's almost like watching a
Mm.
movie, but I'm playing the main character almost. And all the main character does is just stay overpowered and watch the sunset every couple of I don't know,
Sure.
like random
Have you
stuff.
got all the achievements for Dragon Age 2?
Probably not. I don't know. I think I've got like
Dude,
840 out of 1,000 maybe.
How do you not
Something
look at
like
that
that.
list and you're like, oh, I might as well just top those off,
No, I feel like you've given me a bit of a more of a like since I've been talking to you more. I feel like I have to complete games sometimes.
I don't mean
Not
for
that
you
I
to
have
think
to,
that
but
you
more
need
like
to.
I feel the need to, like I'll get more out of it if I do.
I think that's probably not you personally, but I
Yeah.
think some people would get more out of a game. if
Yeah,
they
no, I
complete it.
definitely. I feel like it gives me more of an incentive to want to keep going because I feel like sometimes I'll play a game and I'll just like not bother, and there's not enough of incentive sometimes. But the achievements can definitely do that. Like I wouldn't have had as much fun on Spider-Man on PS4 had I not tried to get platinum. So I feel like since I've been doing that, I've had more fun.
And that's a great platinum. One of the best.
Yeah, probably the most fun platinum I've done in a long time.
Dude, those exclusive PlayStation games, platinum's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of me revisiting old games as a kid,
Yes. Oh, Pokemon is another big one, obviously, but that's like a given.
for you,
Yeah, I'd always play Pokemon.
mm,
I've probably done like 30 different playthroughs of Pokemon.
I feel like Pokemon's an easy game to go back to.
Oh
well.
yeah, super. Like I'm in the middle of like 3 or 4 different playthroughs, different games.
Even though you've got BDSP remakes,
Yeah, I've got X
would
and
you still
Y.
go back? Would you still go back
Alpha.
to the originals?
Sapphire. What do you mean, like red and blue?
No, I mean the original Diamond and Pearl.
Oh no, I don't have that. I've lost it. I had Diamond, but it's gone.
Oh,
If I had it, I'd probably try it again, but I don't have it. It's just gone.
okay.
I lost it. It's probably in the bin years ago. I don't know. So I cleaned out my room like 5 or 6 years ago, and it probably got in the mix something that shouldn't have been.
Okay, understood.
Easily done.
So yeah, I would say for myself, it was one of those. Do you know what, Jay? One of the things I really liked about Death Store, Jay, was it did bring me that. I think we've talked about it before, right? But the whole idea of getting stuck on a game and
Yeah.
then coming back to it. I mean, you know this because you've played Soulsborne, right? But the idea of getting stuck on a game, sleeping on it, you almost go through mentally what you need to do, and then coming back to the game and doing it. I mean, my earliest memory of doing this, I think I might have said this on the show before, but my earliest memory is the Harry Potter Philosopher's Stone PS1 game. I think I was stuck on this platform bit, or maybe even a combat bit.
I remember coming over and you being stuck on it, and you just asking me, "How do I do this?" And I was like, "I don't know. We'll try this."
Oh my god, really?
I remember that. Yeah.
Jeez. And I think I went to bed just like thinking about it in my head, and then I think the next couple of days or whatever, like I did it,
Yeah.
and that was the earliest memory of me being like, "Oh my god, like you can get stuck and then you can come back to it and all
I
this."
feel like
Nonsense.
that's what most like 80s and 90s kids had. They got stuck. They got stuck constantly because they didn't have guides. You know, they had to figure it out.
Right.
You know what?
And
I
then
haven't felt stuck on a game in years because I almost always follow a guide or prepare so much that I don't have I never get stuck. You know, it's very hard for me to get stuck nowadays. That's not a
but I
flex,
think
but you know,
I think that's mostly a good thing. I think if you get stuck in terms of difficulty, not necessarily a bad thing. If you
yeah.
get if you get destroyed on difficulty, I'm a bit like, okay, like move to the side, right? But in terms of you don't want to be getting stuck on collectibles, do you? I mean, like that is a waste of time.
I feel like it's a
Surely,
lot
like
harder to get stuck on games nowadays. Like the games aren't really designed in a way. I feel like games used to be designed where they'd make it difficult. Like there's a lot more puzzle orientated, right? So they'd
yeah,
make it so the game would feel like it was a long game because you'd always be stuck. Like next level, oh I got stuck, play it for 2 weeks, get unstuck, next level. Like that's probably why games used to feel longer, but I reckon most of the old games were probably only about 10 hours long, if that.
sure,
But because you'd always not know what to do, they'd feel like they lasted years sometimes, you know.
it's true.
But
It's
games
true.
aren't really designed like that. Either that or we've just got much better as gamers, you know.
Which could be the case. Which could be the case.
hmm
But
I
like
feel
even
like,
like Pokemon Colosseum, like that's got to be like 10 hours long, hasn't it? I
yeah,
suppose.
it's not very long. It's probably about
But
12
in my
maybe.
head, it feels like weeks, if not
But if
months.
you think about it, when we spoke about this a little while ago, most games are designed now where they don't even start until the end game.
Right.
Like Division, Destiny, most Pokemon games don't start until the end game. It just depends on how you look at it, but there's a lot of games where it's like you get to the end and then it sort of like unravels. There's a bunch more stuff to do, you know.
Mm.
And
Mm.
all you've done for the last 20 hours is to get to the end game. So I feel like this it's sort of flipped on its head, where like you know it was all about the beginning part, and now it's all about the end.
I do like going back to old games where, like, I think it's harder to do now because games seem more complex. So, like, for instance, if you went back to, oh, I don't know, some sort of complicated game, Destiny 2, maybe you
Sure.
might. I think you're not a normal case, but most people might go back to Destiny 2 and be like, "What's going on? What guns do I have? What armor do I have? I don't know what's going on. What level is this? What
I
event is
feel
this? I'm
like
just going to start from
both of us
scratch."
got a little bit discombobulated when we first started Destiny 2 back up.
Yeah,
But then within like a day, or maybe in a few hours, we were sort of like, oh,
yeah,
I remember how to do this now.
and I
But yeah,
think
we are a
that
bit of a unique case. I get that.
yeah, but I think games before you would have gone back to it, right? You would have put the disc in, you would have been like, "Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember, oh, you did." Whereas now you're like daunted by all the fucking menus all over the
Yeah, the
place,
menus can definitely be like it's honestly more about muscle memory. I feel like a lot of menu, like whenever you bring up a menu, there's certain like button combinations you can do that make it quicker or like more efficient to like get to where you want to get to on the menu. But unless you have the muscle memory of doing it, it's going to seem like a lot longer and a bit more complicated to get there. Like you would, like me and you were just playing Division 2 just now, and I feel like you were still a little bit discombobulated by the menus. Whereas
Yes.
I've been playing it for like the last couple of days, so I've sort of already figured out the muscle memory on how to get to the right bit. You know,
Yeah.
like it's all starting to kick back in. You know.
Did you ever go back to like PS1 games, even though you had a PS2?
Yeah, Tomb Raider PS1 was a big
Sure.
one. Crash Bandicoot was a big
Yeah, Crash
one.
Bandicoot.
I'm trying to think what else.
Do you know what's crazy, Jay? Is that I consider the PS2 a huge leap in. I mean, it is a huge leap in graphics,
Yeah, it was
but
Kingdom Hearts on
we were
PS2.
still
That was the
able to
main
go
game.
play. We were still able to go play PS1 games, which is quite interesting in my opinion.
I guess so. I think there was like a couple like indie, not indie, but like not very well known racer games, like maybe like a Colin McRae or
Sure,
something
Lego
like that.
Racer.
Yeah, Lego Racer, yeah, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I also another example of a game which I'm glad me and Elle went back to. Again, I'm pretty sure I've said this example, but one that comes to mind, KOTOR 2. So we bought that with the or mum and dad bought us that for us with the Xbox, original Xbox, and then started playing it. Couldn't understand the combat. Always got stuck on the opening bit, which is at
Yeah,
this mining
me too.
facility. And just like did it through two like, dude. I don't know about you. Every time I got stuck on a game, like genuinely stuck, I just start the whole game all over again and be like, oh, it must have been something I'd done before. It must have been something I've
Sometimes I
done
did
on the
that.
road.
Yeah, it depended on the game most of the
And then
time.
like I'll get to the point, I'll be like, right, I'm good. I've done everything right, and then I'll get fucking stuck again, and I'll be like, what? Anyway, so yeah, KOTOR 2, you get stuck in the mine facility, and then I think it was Elle that first did it. One day, I think it was Elle. One day he just goes on it, right, and like he's messing with the menus, he's messing with his weapons, and he gets past the bit we're stuck on, and it's like, oh my god, there's this whole game now. Because like when you get stuck on a game, spat my mic. When you get stuck on a game, it's like you're locked out of it. Like you can't access it because you can't just go away and buy another game. So you just have it in there in the drawer and you're stuck and there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas once you unlock the game and get past the bit you're stuck on, you have this whole fucking brand new game basically.
Sure.
So that was what happened, and then suddenly Elle had like a lightsaber, and I was like, "What?" And then we just played it for.
I think majority of
many
that
hours.
just comes from like being young, and not understanding how certain mechanics work.
Yeah.
Plus, like if you try to go back and do that now, it'd probably be either equally as hard or maybe not. It just depends, right? Because
Oh, dude,
feel
I
like
played it a few years ago, and it was piece of. I mean, it
oh,
was.
okay,
Just,
maybe maybe it was easier then. I guess. I feel like Ratchet and Clank would probably be fairly difficult still. I remember
No,
playing that game
mate.
and it being really really easy.
It is easy.
But I feel like if I went back to the old ones now, I'd probably not be able to do it as easily. I don't know.
You would.
I feel like there's some games that are a bit more intuitive when you're younger, because like your mind thinks. I feel like when you're younger, your mind thinks differently, right? You don't think as outside. Sometimes you need to be able to think more in the box than out.
Right.
Sometimes things can be too obvious. I hate
I
that when
would
something's
say
way
in
too
terms
obvious and
of.
you're just thinking too much difficulty.
I would say in terms of like FPS, like I'm not sure I was as good as when I was like a 14-year-old kid.
Oh no, I'm better now.
Are you?
It depends.
I would say in every other aspect, I'm better as a gamer now than I've ever been.
Yeah,
Ever.
I think you might be right actually about the FPS stuff. I feel like I was really good when I was like between 15 and 17 or 18. Like I was hot
Sure.
shit for a little while. But I think that was more just because I was playing it so often. I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't put as much time into it. Don't know.
Who knows? Should we move on, Jay?
Yeah.
Division 2. I mean, we've already
Discussed it a little bit, but we're getting back into it.
We are getting back into it. Jay bought it on Xbox.
I did because it was a hell of a lot cheaper. It was like £7.50. Very decent.
Well?
I did get the New York thing too, yeah.
Cool.
Because I had a feeling that I might at least try to get to the end game. And if I was going to do that,
us to topic 1 back.
I can do.
Please, yeah, please.
There we are. We're there.
Please. It doesn't matter too much. You guys don't mind, do you? So yeah, Jay, I've spoken a lot at the moment. So do you want to talk about your new refound love of Division 2?
Yeah. So we spoke about this a little while ago, but it's kind of amazing how much I remember of the game already. I don't know if I'm going to remember much of the late game stuff, because so much of it has changed. Like, obviously, when I first played it, it was like day one, right? So it was very basic. And I think I actually remember coming back to it on PlayStation about maybe a year ago. So maybe the beginning of 2021, maybe end of 2020, and thinking, wow, this game is a mess. Like, it's just so different
Really?
to how I remember. But now it's more. It looks more like how when I first played it. I don't know why. I might have been in like a weird headspace or something. But I think they went through a bit of a transitional period between when the game first came out and recently. And I think only within like the last year or so, maybe like 7 or 8 months, is it sort of transitioned back to how it used to be. Because I know the game actually has a really good following still. Like a lot of people still play it.
Really?
So there's a lot of feedback online, and they update it fairly regularly. So whether it's going to, I think the big hope was that it was going to be cross-gen. Like a lot of people were talking online about how they were hoping that this most recent update, which I think was about a month or two ago, was going to have cross-gen between PlayStation and Xbox. But no, I think it's only just either Xbox and PC or PC and PlayStation. Like you can't do PlayStation and Xbox cross-gen. You can only do whatever you're on and then PC. Which is a bit of a. I mean, I don't know if you can play with someone on PC who's also playing on something with Xbox. Like, I imagine that probably wouldn't work. So that'd be a bit strange. But yeah, Division 2 is great. I was in the like we're so close to Wonderlands now that I was kind of
Yeah.
just like in the mood to play something that had loot in it. So I needed to see like those purple and gold drops basically. So I'm kind of just in the mood for the grind. I'm hoping it doesn't get me out of the mood of the Wonderlands grind. I can't imagine it will, because there'll be enough excitement there for just like it being a new Borderlands game essentially. So I just needed to see those drops, you know. Needed to get excited about the next upgrade to my weapon, which only just happened. Me and you just did a supply drop, and I got a purple gun out of that, and I was like, oh yes, very nice. I love when that happens. So you're
Love a
excited
good.
about playing it with me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope we can
Yeah,
do
it's
it again shortly.
it's one of those games which is a lot easier to play when you play with other people.
Like I feel like I've sort of like maybe me and you have sort of refound our love of playing games together.
Mm.
Because there was a long time where I was like, yeah, I just want to play this by myself. But I say most games I still want to play by myself. But if there's like a really easy way of playing with someone, I'll enjoy that more. So I feel like it used to be quite hard to like join a game. I feel like it's so much easier now. Like it literally
Yeah, I
took
mean
two
you'd hope so,
seconds, you know.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
in this day
I
and
felt
age, it bloody better be easy. I
yeah,
feel like
I
games
agree.
didn't have the right like setup. Like there wasn't enough. Like the matchmaking always
Mm.
seemed like a bit of a difficulty to figure out. Whereas now all you got to do is just press invite and you're there. You know,
Yeah,
super easy.
it's pretty seamless at the moment, isn't it? I would say.
hmm
To the game's benefit, obviously, because I
What
think people are going to play it more if it's more
What was
seamless.
your incentive to want to come play Division? Is because you never played it before, right?
You mean like before my revelatory experience?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, never played
Because
it
you never played
before.
the first one.
No.
No, so you kind of wanted to just jump into whatever the most recent one was. I guess because the first one doesn't really have any developer, what do you call it, like input anymore. They
Right,
don't.
right,
They
right.
don't. What do they call that?
Post-launch support? I don't know.
Support. There we go. Yeah, they don't. They don't support the first one anymore. They just. I'm actually surprised they're still supporting the second one. I was kind of waiting for them to announce the third one if they were ever going to do a third one.
Well, yeah. I was going to ask you, like, do you think this is like a bit of a sleeper hit, a bit like For Honor is, if you know what I mean?
It's weird. I was actually on the For Honor train when it first came out. I played it year one for quite a while. I played it for like 3 or 4 months. I really enjoyed it. And then I remember all the DLC stuff coming out, and by that point I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done. You know, like I've played it enough. And that game like lasted like 6 or 7 years. It's still going, isn't it?
It's still, I think it
Is that
is, yeah.
Ubisoft For Honor?
Yeah.
What is it with Ubisoft games recently that just seem to be lasting?
Fuck, dude, I don't even
Rainbow
know.
Six is still going on. Division 2 is still going on. For Honor is like
For Honor,
they're Ubisoft are Assassin's Creed. Like
Valhalla.
Ubisoft might be in like their renaissance period of like absolutely killing it when it comes to designing games that can just last.
Mm.
Like they've got the formula down, you know. I'm kind of hoping that they stick to it because I feel like they needed it.
I hope they don't. I think they do. I think it's good for them in terms of business, but
Oh, great for
like
business,
at
but
this
not as
point,
great for what do you call it? Like progression or like innovation.
right, innovation, yeah, because like
Lack of
the problem with these
innovation. Yeah.
games, Jay, is that they've been going on for so long. Trying to get into For Honor now, that would be a fucking joke.
No, I think you'd
Like,
actually probably be all right. I think
Jay,
there's an
the people
aspect.
been
It
playing
depends.
that, dude. You know what I mean? You
I
know what I
think you'd be
mean?
surprised. Much like I think anyone could jump into Rainbow Six right now, and Assassin's Creed too. Like any of those games you could jump into. It's just
Oh,
whether
Assassin's Creed is
I
single
think it's
player.
more whether you have the determination to actually get good at it, and also you've just got to
Mm,
hope that the servers are still going to be online like a year from now, or even a
true.
month from now. Like I can imagine any of those games cutting the servers, but I'm not sure how much money they make from it still. Like
I
are they
was
going to
gonna,
cut after 10 years? Like after 20? Like what? How
yeah,
long are
I
they
guess
going to
when the
last?
players aren't there anymore, you
I think
know.
this is probably a good topic actually. When's Ubisoft? What does Ubisoft have planned for their next long-term game? Is there anything in the
Probably,
pipeline? I'm actually kind of curious about that. What has Ubisoft got coming up?
dude. They just released one that they probably want to be long term.
What, the Extraction?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of just I'm thinking like new IP though.
Oh, dude, new IP. I mean,
Yeah,
Lord, I don't know. I really don't know. Is Steep Ubisoft or Riders Republic? Is that Ubisoft?
I don't think so.
I think Riders Republic is the one I meant. That looks fun.
Because
That looks really fun.
Ubisoft is Watch Dogs as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're still waiting on Beyond Good and Evil. That's still in
Dude,
development.
that's never coming out.
I
I'm
don't know. I don't
afraid.
think so either. Obviously, the Far Cry games.
Right.
Um,
The reason I bought Division 2, by the way, guys, was I really wanted a podcast game at the time. That has changed
oh,
slightly. But yeah.
a podcast game. You got one that we talk about because we're playing it together.
That, but also a game which I can listen to podcasts while I'm playing.
Oh, listen to podcasts we're playing. That's what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got
And
that
audiobooks, actually.
X Defiant games coming out. The Tom Clancy's X Defiant. It's that new shooter. What do you call it? Do you remember this? We talked about it at E3.
Is it a mobile game?
No, it's the free to play. I think it's
Oh, dude, if you said, dude, free to play, like, I can't,
yeah, it's going to be
man. I
cosmetics like and stuff like that. But it's
can't.
basically like a shooter, just like a multiplayer shooter game that has like a very like Division kind of like aesthetic to it.
Sure. I think I know which one you're on about. Dude, like, I think you're right. Ubisoft are killing it in that respect, but I think that's why I play Assassin's Creed so much now, but not only because it's so long, but also because, like, what other Ubisoft game am I going to play? I don't want to get into a game that's 5 years in its life cycle. I don't want to play a live service game if I can help it, really, unless I'm playing with Jay. And I don't really want to play a free-to-play game. So there's
I
not many
kind
other
of do.
games
I
I
want to
can.
play all those. I'm kind of the opposite.
Well,
I feel like that's a good thing, though,
you're
right?
in a great spot.
I
You're in
am.
a great
We've got the
spot.
new Avatar game coming out as well, the Frontiers of
I am
Pandora.
interested to see that. I am interested to see that.
Yeah, that's Ubisoft as well. So I'm hoping this X Defiant game comes out on console. Let me just check. I don't think it said. I think it's just PC, but it doesn't say when it's coming. Ubisoft Sanfran are
Jay,
making that.
let's please transition to the news. If that's all right.
We're there.
So, Jay, this week we have so much. No, we don't. We have two
No,
news stories to
not that
talk about.
much.
One of them is quite big. Let's start with the smaller one, Jay. Herman Holst over at Sony PlayStation, head of PlayStation Studios. That's their exclusive developers, if you don't know. Horizon Zero Dawn has sold 20 million copies around the world.
Okay.
Brilliant game. This is exactly what we want to see, ladies and gentlemen. New IP, first open world game from an FPS developer, PlayStation exclusive, now on PC. I don't give a shit. 20 million copies sold.
That's a
That
lot.
is what we want to see. Single player, open world, RPG. More of that, please. Horizon 2's around the corner. I've got no idea how good it's going to be. I won't get it brand new because there's too much going on in my house. I've got an ironing board next to me. And also, Jay was like, Nick, don't buy it brand new. It's 70 quid. And I was like, Jay, you're right. And let's be honest, guys. Forbidden West.
Oh, right.
And let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. None of you nerds are going to care about talking about Horizon spoilers when Elden Ring's in the wild anyway. So I don't care. People move on too quick to give me spoilers. So that's that. The first story. Jay, did you anything to comment on there at all?
I mean, yeah, 20 mil actually seems about right. If you hadn't have told me, I probably would have guessed somewhere in the high teens of the millions. So yeah. So how is that 2017, 2016 that game came out?
2017.
2017. Okay. So how long? It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
4 and a bit years, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, that's not bad.
Dude, that's a long cycle for the sequel as well. That's a long time.
I mean, I feel like most epic games that come out are like have long cycles of sequels, right?
It's true. It's true.
Like Last of Us.
I wouldn't be surprised if God of War got pushed, but we'll see.
Ragnarok, yeah.
Jay, next story. We have a statement from Microsoft. I will quote it. Yeah, I'm going to quote it. Quote, first, some commentators have asked whether we will continue to make popular content like Activision's Call of Duty available on competing platforms like Sony's PlayStation. The obvious concern is that Microsoft can make this title available exclusively on the Xbox console, undermining opportunities for Sony PlayStation users. That's the end of the first paragraph. Next paragraph. To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision.
Yeah.
And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. We are also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's successful platform. We believe this is the right thing for the industry, for gamers, and for our business. End quote.
If you really, really think about it, it's kind of like, well, duh, right? It's kind of like obvious that that's what their answer should be, because they're still going to get a cut from it being on PlayStation, right? Because they own the game, they're still getting, like, they're still making more profit than Sony, technically. Like, the cut they get is still more substantial because they add that cut onto what they're making on their own console. So I feel like of the pie, of the 100% pie, like Microsoft's probably getting like maybe 60 to 65% of the cut total. Let's say Sony and Xbox have 50% of the pie each. Because Microsoft own Call of Duty anyway, they're going to get a bit of that cut of the 50% that Sony already have, or what they would have made, you know, about 15%, I imagine. So technically, Microsoft still wins regardless. Just whatever, you know. I feel like I think it would actually hurt the sales of Call of Duty total if they made it just Xbox exclusive. Like all the people that have a PlayStation who also play Call of Duty wouldn't transition over. It would cost too much. So like on a business perspective, it's like the most obvious answer. Obviously, they would never make it exclusive. That's dumb. It would hurt them in the long run and in the short run.
Dude, completely agree.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
This is what you said when they announced the deal, right? We don't know the back end finances. I'm pretty sure Jay was like, you know, if it works for them from a profit perspective, they will put it on PlayStation. End of story.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, and Jay, the only thing I wanted to add to what you've just said is that, as far as we know, which is nothing, they could have gone to Sony and gone, all right, we'll keep it on PlayStation, but you got to give us a bit more of the dough. You know what I mean? Like, all right, deal sorted. They could have done that. Like, I'm just saying, deals happen.
Yeah, because technically they have the upper hand because they actually own the game now. So
right,
technically they're almost like holding them hostage.
Exactly.
Like they're asking for a ransom to be like, you can keep it, but you got to pay us a little bit extra. And they're like,
they're sitting under
fine.
the table, right? And they've just got the gun pointed at them, like,
Let's
yeah, you can
say
walk
let's
off.
say
You
Sony
can
made
walk
a
off.
billion. Just throw a number out there. Okay, let's say 100 million from Call of Duty
Sure.
in like a year. I reckon that number's probably gone down, at least down to 3/4. They're probably only making about 75 now compared to the 100. Like they're
Right.
probably only making about a quarter less than what they used to do.
I mean, who knows, right? But
It's like a wild guess, but like just like a round
sure.
number, roundabout,
But yeah, like if
it's
it
still a
like
lot of
same
money.
with Minecraft, right? They could have made Minecraft exclusive. Now, Jay, what I will say is, imagine if Microsoft were like, oh yeah, Minecraft's exclusive. Oh, by the way, Call of Duty and all the other Activision Blizzard titles are exclusive too. I mean, wouldn't that just be the craziest Like, I just want to see what would happen.
It'd be a very bad business decision. Very, very bad. Ultimately, it just hurts them. It's just dumb.
Oh, I don't know if it does.
No, it hurts them a lot.
I think people get pissed off because it makes them buy Xboxes, but that's the whole point.
No, I think what we'll see now is where there used to be PlayStation exclusives for Call of Duty pre-orders, there'll now be Xbox exclusives for pre-orders. Because I remember saying this before,
definitely.
how I think the last two or three,
right?
the last 2 or 3 Call of Duties that have come out have all had PlayStation exclusive pre-order bonuses. Like the betas there was like always an extra beta, stuff like this, extra beta, better like cosmetics early, whatever it was. But now it'll probably shift to the other way around, more than likely.
Yeah,
At some point, I'm not sure.
Microsoft's E3, if they get permission, which they might not, because the deal might not be done then. But if they get permission to show off the upcoming Activision Blizzard games at their E3 this year, you can bet your top dollar that Microsoft's E3 this year is probably going to be nuts. I mean, we haven't even seen Starfield yet. I mean, I don't.
Let's say like Microsoft, like they do E3 like in person at any point.
Sure.
They probably won't, but let's say they do it in the next 2 or 3 years. It's probably going to be I can imagine it being one of the best comebacks ever for Microsoft, ever. Sure. Even though the 2019 E3 was probably one of the best E3s we've seen in a long time.
I was going to say last year's was one of the best I've seen.
No, I just mean in like showmanship, because it's when they did the cyberpunk sort of Keanu thing, right?
Oh, right.
Like that was like memed for ages, like that kind of level of like grandiosity,
Yeah.
But like if we ever got back to that, it would probably be like everything's back to normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably gonna be a while till we see that. I don't know.
Jay, let's talk some Pokemon. Please transition to your topic. Pastures, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited to see what's going on over in Arceus.
Okay.
Jay, just you gotta fill the people in. So
okay.
You finished the game.
Again, I finished it again. But you might be thinking, oh, you mean you started from the beginning again? No. So there's like multiple milestones to reach, right? The first milestone, I guess, was just completing the game, seeing the credits roll. It's like the first milestone.
Yes.
We spoke about that last week, about 25 hours in, I got to that point. The next milestone really is completing the Pokedex, which I did at like the 60-hour-ish mark. And then once you've done that, you can then...
Quick stop.
Okay.
That seems a long time.
Yes, an extra 35 hours of like having to...
I mean, that's more than the core game.
Yeah, so more of the game is spent in the end game than in the beginning. Makes sense.
Please carry on.
Yeah, so about 60 hours to finish the Pokedex, and then another 20 hours to then get research level 10 on every Pokemon in the Pokedex. So that means like every Pokemon has like a list of challenges that you're supposed to do. Some of the same challenges are like number caught, number defeated, and then do this move a certain amount of times, and then do this move a certain amount of times while in either agile or strong mode, which is like, quicker or slower but more powerful mode or whatever. You don't have to do every single one, but you've just got to do enough to get to level 10, basically, which isn't like, it's like the max level, but you don't need to do all the challenges to be able to do that. And I think just by playing the game, you should get about 100 out of the 242 Pokemon anyway, so you shouldn't need to do that much after you've already got most Pokemon to, or at least half of the Pokemon to where you need to get them. So I'm now at the stage where I have the Shiny Charm, which is an item that allows you to get shiny Pokemon more often. and I'm just grinding now just to get cool looking Pokemon essentially. And
Okay.
I got one this morning, but it took ages. It took like 2 or 3 hours. It shouldn't be that long actually. You should get like one every half an hour in theory. But
I've got a lot of questions, Jay.
yeah, go on.
First question: if it's set in the same region as Pearl and
Same
Diamond,
place, different name.
yes. Does that are there new Pokemon in this game apart from the
Yes.
legendaries and stuff? There is. So how
Give
do
me a
they
minute. I'm actually
explain
trying
the
to think if
existence
there's new Pokemon or if they're just new forms. I think they're just new forms. I don't think there's actually any new Pokemon, like Pokemon that are specifically made for this game.
because it wouldn't make sense, right, that they're in this game but not in one of the other games? Or
No, it
in
would, because, okay, so I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but a lot of Pokemon's evolutions are actually based around their surroundings.
right.
So a good example of this is wheezing.
Uh-huh.
Wheezing, so coughing is like the purple gas ball, right? The precursor, the single ball, and wheezing is like the purple ball that's like got a couple attached to it. So in Alola, I think, is it Alolan? No, it's whatever the Sword and Shield region is. There's a region where whenever it evolves into wheezing, it now evolves into like a really weird, like black, sort of like chimney-looking Pokemon. And the reason it's like that is because the Weezings, sort of their habitat in that particular region is like a very sort of like smoky industrial area where a lot of human influence has changed the way the Pokemon evolves. So this game does the opposite of that, where lack of human intervention has made the Pokemon evolve differently. This makes sense?
Well, but it is set in the same timeline, right?
Yeah, it's all technically the same
Yeah.
timeline. But one thing that's actually interesting about this is we don't know if this is technically the past or a different universe of Pokemon. Because in Pokemon, we've gotten to the point now where we've actually gone through wormholes, and there's like different timelines that we don't quite know if they're the same one or if they're not.
That's why I asked if it's the same timeline.
Well, we don't know. Officially, we don't know.
They haven't come out and said it's the same timeline.
No, it's all very like. There's a lot of lore, a lot of history, and a lot of like speculation as to whether this is technically because okay, so the reason why they brought out BDSP was to show that Cyrus, who's like the main bad guy, opened up a
Yeah.
wormhole and said he was going to go and create a new universe. And then the next game that comes
Oh.
out is you coming through a wormhole into a new place, and the character you play, spoilers, but the character you play is a person from.
Oh. Jay, we've got to
What?
give the people time to leave the podcast.
It's fine.
Skip back in like
Bugger
2
off.
minutes. Crack on.
So literally, the first thing you see in the game is you in like a void, like a literally like imagine the place you were before you were born.
Yeah, sure.
That's where you are. You're just floating in black. There's just nothingness, and then all of a sudden there's a bright light that talks to you, telling you that it's the god of all Pokemon. Yes, because
Okay.
that's what Arceus is. Arceus is the god of all Pokemon,
Okay.
and it says, "I need you to
Or-
go capture all Pokemon."
Right.
And then it sends you off into this new realm called Hisui, and you have to go
Right.
capture all Pokemon. That's literally the whole story. But you've come through a wormhole in the sky that stays there the entire time. But that wormhole is what theoretically, or people have thought that could have possibly happened to have been the one that Cyrus made at the end of BDSP.
Guys, who would have known in 25 years Nick's
Pokemon
interested in Pokemon story? Who would have thought it?
Like it's very like amazing. Like there's canon, like there's things you can follow along every Pokemon game that sort of all ties together. The Pokemon story is insane at the minute. It's amazing what they've done. Because the wormhole idea actually first came into from Sun and Moon. There was a thing
Right.
where there was these Pokemon called Ultra Beasts, which are essentially like very odd looking legendary Pokemon that came through these wormholes that you had to go sort of like go and catch or whatever. But nobody really knew where these wormholes came from, and then you figured out they were from like the end game legendaries or whatever. Like it's all very
Right.
confusing. But they've sort of introduced all these features to sort of come to this culmination of Arceus, essentially. And even like
That's
the little,
cool.
you know, like when a game loads, there's like a little loading logo.
Yeah,
The loading logo on Arceus is the wormhole in the sky, so it just looks so cool.
that's cool,
Just like this
man.
little thing in the corner, a little wormhole whirl about.
So they never confirm whether it is the same character from
So
BDSP.
the way that it's all very speculatory is that there's characters in the game that look like ancestors of characters from BDSP. So like Cyrus, the main bad guy, has an ancestor called Silene, who's like the person who you have to go talk to like update your Pokedex, kind of, right?
Oh my god.
There's also Commander Kamado, who is Professor Rowan's ancestor. So he looks the same, like they've got the same features but are slightly different. There's like different wardens of Pokemon that are like have the same haircut and have the same look as some of the bad guys from BDSP, but they're like their ancestor. We don't really know if we don't. So the main conspiracy is that this is just a different timeline, and the one that Cyrus made up in his head to be like, I'm going to go create my own Pokemon universe, and it's going to be my version of what I want the universe to look like. And it's just different versions of what it already is. It's an old version before. I think Cyrus's main goal was to sort of have a world where Pokemon didn't coexist with humans. So it's like a lot of it is almost like a allegory for racism. It's very odd. Like it's almost like this kind of thing of like, do we want these others to be, mixing with us almost?
Right.
Like, should Pokemon be feared or should they be loved? It's almost like at that point in history of Pokemon, but we don't know if Pokemon are friends or foe.
Right.
Do we want them to be our partners in in our life or whatever? So it's literally right at that time.
Interesting.
There's also a thing about a Pokemon war in the future that not a lot of people know about, which I think is one of my favorite pieces of Pokemon history, and is the reason why Ash doesn't have a dad.
Because he fought in this war.
Because he died in the war. Yeah, he died in the Pokemon War.
Oh my god!
How amazing is that of a like thing to like have? It's the reason why you don't have a dad in any of the Pokemon games. By the way, it's always the mum. There's always a single mum, and the dad always died in the war. Because all the men had to go fight. So that's the reason why there isn't that many men in Pokemon games. There's some, but not as many as you think.
So Jay,
I love it. That's just such a cool thing.
Question is,
a little bit of history.
Is there a goal here in terms of, oh yeah, I have finished the game if I get every shiny Pokemon?
Yeah, I'd say the main goal is to get shiny alpha versions of your favorite Pokemon. That's pretty much like, or just of all Pokemon.
And can you transfer? I assume you can't do anything.
We can't do it yet
between this game.
Oh yeah, you can transfer Pokemon between the same game, but not to Pokemon Home.
No.
Which is like, Pokemon Home is basically where you can transfer all your Pokemon from previous Pokemon games into your new Pokemon games. So let's say you had a Pokemon that you named, I don't know, like Flower or something from like from like Fire Red or Leaf Green, and you wanted to keep that Pokemon in every Pokemon game you played. You can transfer it to Pokemon Home, then transfer Pokemon Home to your new Pokemon game, and it's still the same Pokemon.
How would you transfer it on a GBA game to Pokemon Home though?
There's a way to do it. It's tough, but you can do it.
I assume you'd have to go from Game Boy to DS, DS to 3DS, and then 3DS to Pokemon Home?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You basically, you'd have to find a way to get the GBA one onto a DS game through trading. You'd then have to be able to get the DS one onto a 3DS one in later, and then, transfer again.
Is Pokemon Home on 3DS, or is there any?
So it used to be called Pokemon Bank. I'm not sure if they've still got Pokemon Bank, but I think it's just Pokemon Home now. I think it's on everything 3DS above. Yeah, so 3DS and Switch.
Did they launch that Pokemon Sleep thing they were talking about?
I think they're still trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So now that you've finished it, Jay, and you've had some time with it, I know I should probably wait a couple of weeks so you've reflected on it, but I'm interested.
No, this is probably a good time.
How? It seems the general consensus is this is a nice, refreshing. It's not perfect, but it's a nice, refreshing take on Pokemon. Right? It's basically what you guys want, a new type of Pokemon game.
Yeah, something that's just different from the regular formula,
Right. How do you feel? I mean, it seems like they have got a plan in motion, which is very exciting. How do you feel about it, and how are you feeling about whatever might be next, I suppose?
I feel like even though you probably don't agree, but every Pokemon game definitely does have some level of innovation to it. And I think Arceus is the culmination of all the innovation that we've had since, I don't know, the GBA games, I guess. I think what we'll see is just a continued version of innovation and different ways of improving the game or changing the game, however you want to call it. Because I know we said like we just spoke about Ubisoft and like their lack of innovation in certain areas, or not being able to like change up what they do because they keep doing the same thing over and over. Which Pokemon you definitely can make the comparison to, but I feel like every Pokemon game, or at least every new generation of Pokemon games, changes it, adds something new to it that makes that then they tend to keep further on. Like they had Mega Evolutions, and then they had Gigantamax later on, and now they've got Alpha Pokemon. Like there's always something to like make you go, oh, a different way of me playing the game, or at least enjoying it in a different way. So I feel like they'll either just do something new or just add similar or the same things from previous ones and just like make different. They'll just improve on it each time. So as long as they just keep doing that, that's all I'd ever want is just to make it more fun, or at least the same but equally as fun. So I'm not like, oh, the next Pokemon game is probably going to be terrible. If anything, it's just going to be a different version of what we already have, or some level of innovation, or maybe they might even bring back Mega Evolutions. Because I think the number one thing that everyone keeps talking about is Mega Evolutions. Like we want those back basically because they brought them in X and Y, but then they didn't do them again after that. So and a lot of people have found in the Arceus code that there is going to be Mega Evolutions. Like there's already leaks about the DLC coming out in April and November of this year. So
have they announced the DLC for this game?
So there's Pokemon Day is at the end of February. So they're going to probably announce the DLC that's coming out in April for Arceus. And then in April, they're probably going to announce the next generation Pokemon game that's going to come out either end of this year or start of next year.
In terms of the next gen Pokemon game, do you think it will be a hybrid of Arceus and then Gen 8 then basically?
Yeah,
like
hopefully
a bit more open world.
Yeah, it'll definitely be more like Sword and Shield. I think in that there'll be areas you can go farm Pokemon essentially. Sure, I think that I'm hoping that the next lot of Pokemon games isn't going to be like previous ones, and that there's going to be an overworld, and that all Pokemon are just going to be in the overworld now. You don't need to go through the grass to find Pokemon anymore.
Right.
I'm hoping that it's just everything's overworld now, because that's kind of what we went from. We went from everything where Pokemon are always in the grass to now Sword and Shield is like, oh, there's Pokemon in the overworld, and now it's like Arceus where every Pokemon is in the overworld. So I'm hoping that the next gen is just going to be everything overworld, and it'll basically be like a better, bigger version of Arceus. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But with gyms, I want gym battles back. I want gym battles, and I want Mega Evolutions.
I think that's where the hybrid thing comes.
Yeah, we just want we want a fusion. We want a hybrid. 100%. Yeah, just give me the fusion, give me the hybrid, and I'll be happy.
Did you fill out the Pokédex for BDSP?
No.
Did you fill out the Pokédex for Sword and Shield?
No.
So what's motivated you in this game to do it?
Because they actually reward you for doing it.
Ah.
And I feel like the game is literally the main, like the game starts out and it says complete the Pokédex.
Okay, so why has it taken this long for them to give you a type of reward for filling
No, I feel like you've always got the shiny charm if you fill it out in every game. It's just that in this one, like, there isn't really much else to do. Like, in other ones you can do PvP, but in this there isn't. So because of the lack of PvP, and the lack of, like, Battle Tower and stuff like that, like, they've just given you more of a reason to do the thing that you should be doing in most Pokemon games anyway, just complete the Pokédex.
Okay.
I think this actually might be my first... I think other than Leaf Green and Fire Red, this is my first Pokemon game I've actually maxed out the Pokédex.
Nice.
Plus I think this is actually the first Pokemon game that doesn't have over 500 Pokemon in the Pokédex. That's probably another reason why I haven't completed them, is because there's just so many in the other ones.
But are you including like previous Pokemon games Pokédexes in that count?
Yeah, so what happens is there's like the main Pokédex, which is just that region's Pokédex, and then what happens is when you beat the game, the national dex gets added to your Pokédex, which adds about 300 Pokemon.
Yes.
So yeah, I think because they add the national,
you can only get them from putting them in from an old game, right, or another game, right?
No,
you can
actually catch those Pokemon in the game. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The national dex adds all previous Pokemon to that current game you're playing.
Oh, and they all just
they haven't done
in.
a national dex in a new Pokemon game in like 6 years.
Oh, okay.
There hasn't been a national dex in a newer Pokemon generation game in ages, which is probably a good thing. I think that's also what people want. People want to be able to add every Pokemon, but there's like 900 Pokemon now, so it's pretty difficult to do.
Ugh.
It would take them probably about 6 years to make a game if they wanted to do that.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But they bring out a
right.
Pokemon game every 3 years, or like a new generation every 3 years. Because Sword and Shield came out in 2019. So
Alright,
2022 is when we're getting our next one.
PASTURE has been raked over.
Yeah, boy.
Let's move on. Jay, please take us back home where we'll finish off with a couple of games.
Okay.
Jay, would you like to start with Guess Who's Review or Pixel Perfect?
We'll do Guess Who's Review actually.
Guess Who's Review.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing it for you, right?
Yes, so for those who don't know, me and Jay pick a random game review from a random media outlet. We will pick 3 quotes from the game review, and then we will try and guess the game. Jay's picked the game and the quotes this week, so I've got to guess. Jay,
So I'm a bit
are
torn.
you ready? I'm very good at this game.
I feel like I'm just as confused about this as you might be. I have 3 games that I've chosen,
Right, okay.
and I don't know if if either you've done them to me before or if I've done them to you before. So I'm just going to do all 3 of them, and then not right now, but like eventually I'm going to do all 3, and we're just going to hope that they haven't been done.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, I'm just going to, okay.
Jay, what are the scores?
I think it's like 29, 26, I think.
That sounds right.
Or maybe 27, something like that. I haven't updated it in a while.
Do you like this mug? I painted it myself.
I do actually, yes, it looks cool.
Thank you. Wait for it.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow, okay, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I like it. I mean, I can understand if you don't, but I liked it anyway.
This is my mug. I got this for Christmas a couple of years ago.
Oh, no, nice and big, nice and
I like
round.
stags. I got a thing about stag is like obviously like Harry Potter, obviously like does and stags, but like I don't know, it's just a cool. Actually, I don't know if you can see.
Could get away with that being a Christmas mug, you know.
Where is it? There it is on the wall.
Oh, there it is.
The stag. Actually, I don't know if you can see my Division box. Division.
Yeah. Is that Division 1?
Overwatch, yeah, Division 1 box, and then Pip-Boy up there.
Oh, mate, let's have a good clean out of your room, hey?
That's just been cleaned out. Right, okay, I'm just going to go with the first one. I'm going to go down the list, obviously, over the next couple of weeks, so we'll see how we go.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Quote 1.
Okay.
The levels change depending on how many players you have in your party, with more enemies to fight and twists on exciting puzzles to solve. Oh yeah, but this is also hard mode because you've been doing way too many hard ones.
Yeah, no, absolutely fine. Can you just say the quote again quickly, please?
The levels change depending on how many players you have in your party, with more enemies to fight and twists on exciting puzzles to solve. Now, this is very difficult, this first quote. Because this could be literally like 100 different games.
Have I played this game?
I think you have, yeah, because we spoke about it before. Actually, I really hope you have. I did go through your achievement list, but I don't know if I checked all your old games, not your new games. So
Sure.
I can't remember if you played it.
Yeah, I can't. Nothing's coming to mind where I'm like, yeah, it's definitely this one.
Okay. Okay, I'll just like give you like a clue, just to like at least give you like a base. So I'll read the quote again, but I'll explain it more. So levels changing depending on how many players you have in your party. You got to think about a game that has at least a couple. Where you can do co-op at least with a couple other people, right?
Oh, okay. So it doesn't mean like AI players or whatever.
Oh, maybe actually no, because the AI would always fill out in this game.
Okay.
And then with more enemies to fight and twists on exciting puzzles to solve. So you've got to fight enemies and there's puzzles to solve. So a game with a party, enemies to kill, and then puzzles to solve.
I've got a guess.
I really hope that didn't give it to you because that's annoying.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think this is the right game, but I have a guess.
Go on then.
Destiny 2.
No, but that's a good guess. Well, I'm not.
So relieved.
I'm not. Me saying it's a good guess is not a clue as to what the game might be.
Sure.
I don't think it's even. Is it similar? Not really. No. Okay, you ready for number 2?
Let's go.
Okay. Some levels have hidden chambers too that can only be opened by Professor Archimedes. That's definitely like a bit of a given if you know what this game is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't sure if to include the name or not, but I thought, yeah, I'll give it to you.
I mean, I have a guess, but I'm not sure if that guy's in it. I don't know if he's a famous video game character, and I'm supposed to know who that is
Professor,
immediately.
no, he's definitely not a famous video game character. Professor Archimedes. Like, unless you really pay attention to the game, you wouldn't know who that was.
Right, okay, I have a guess.
Well, I actually forgot that was even a character name in this bloody thing. So
yeah, okay.
I actually wouldn't. Actually, I would. Can I just point out? I want to play this game
Yeah.
with you if you have it.
Okay.
I think you do.
Strange Brigade.
It is Strange Brigade. Well done.
Oh shit!
Wow, you got it on the second one. That's good.
That's a great round you did there, Jay. What's the last quote?
Labyrinth, crypts, and forgotten overgrown cities are explorable solo or on a 4-player co-op. Yeah, no, on a 4-player co-op. That might have been better than the second one, but
No. I think you did the right thing there.
Yeah.
Nice. No, are you pissed off that I got it now?
No, I'm actually kind of happy you got that.
Okay.
I actually think I have that on PlayStation, but you probably got it on Xbox.
I only played it on Game Pass. I'm not sure if it's still on Game Pass.
Was it on Game Pass? That's probably why.
I might have it.
I don't think it's crossplay. I'd have to check, but I think I have it on PlayStation.
You've definitely got it on PlayStation, have you?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember.
No, all good, bro.
I actually want to check. Hang on. Strange Brigade crossplay.
Jay's checking his line.
Unfortunately, there are no plans to integrate crossplay. Oh well. Well, this is interesting. There's a whole list here of games that currently have crossplay. There's 298 games in this database that have crossplay.
Is that all of PlayStation's games?
PlayStation and Xbox, yeah, hang on.
Wow.
Oh, that new Generation Zero game is crossplay, apparently.
Do you mean Crossfire X?
No, Generation Zero.
Zero?
Yeah, it's the new one.
Isn't that a terrible game?
I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. I actually wouldn't mind trying that.
Right, guys, Pixel Perfect, visual game, which we like to do on an audio podcast. I've pixelated, by me, I mean my production team, have pixelated some, what would you call it, Jay? Just cover art, game art, whatever.
Cover art for games.
For different games.
God damn it,
and I've made it really hard this week.
Yeah, this is very hard.
So, Jay, you do know this game.
Damn it.
There's your first clue.
So, as some people may know, there's usually a theme. And I think once I get the first one, the theme should make itself apparent. But
yeah, good point, Jay. There is a theme.
I genuinely don't know what this one is. I'm going to describe it, okay?
Yeah, crack on.
So what I imagine this probably might be is there's definitely some sort of flesh-like coloured sort of like blob that for some reason has like an orange top and like a blue background. So I've got to think about games that have blue in them, potentially, and a flesh-coloured something in them.
Okay.
And orange for some fucking reason.
I will allow you a few squints at this one.
Oh, I can almost see it.
Yeah, you can, but you can't quite, can you? You can't quite.
Damn it, it's like... Oh, god damn, I don't... I can like see it, but I can't. God damn it. Oh.
Right, Jay, I'm afraid in a few seconds.
Can I get like the tiniest clue? Something that wouldn't even would barely make me think.
Don't think about the blue or the orange too much.
Oh, great. That doesn't give me anything.
I would look at them. I would look at the main image.
Oh, I can kind of see. Do you know what's funny? Actually, now that I squint, the bottom bit actually almost looks like a raccoon. I don't know if you can see it, but it almost looks like there's two ears, and then where the sort of black spots are on the bottom is like a nose and two eyes. I know it's not, but that's kind of what it looks like to me.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you really look at it, it's almost like it almost looks like a red panda's face.
Yeah. Right, Jay, I'm going to need an answer.
I honestly don't know, so I'm just going to guess like...
Go on.
I'm going to guess like Ratchet and Clank. Just like a random Ratchet and Clank. I don't know. Just any of the Ratchet and Clank.
It is in fact, Jay.
Oh my god, Cross Tekken? I love. Do you know what's
Holy
funny about this game? Do
moly!
you know what's funny about this game? This is probably one of my favorite fighting games, and it's one of the most hated fighting games of all time.
I'll
People
be really
absolutely
surprised about
hated
that,
it,
Jay.
but I
Uh,
loved it when it first. I
What
actually, you know
was
what?
what was
I would happily go back and play this right now.
what was
Love this
why do
game
people hate it?
just because it was so there was like a big controversy around it actually. So when it first came out, they sort of set up this like house, this like streamer house almost, where they got a bunch of fighting game professionals to go and like play against each other in this like tournament, but they had to live with each other for like a week or two. It was really random,
Oh, okay.
and there was like a sexual misconduct thing that happened, where I
Ugh.
think one of the guys like tried to make a move on one of the girls, and she wasn't happy, so like the whole thing like collapsed essentially. But I remember like that being like a really really fun thing to watch. It was almost like a reality show, but not really.
Sure.
Oh man, those were the days, man. And also the big thing was that the fighting game had this gem system, which made it so there wasn't enough consistency. Where basically, if you played the game for longer than someone else, you'd have a more advantage against like online players, which basically made the game unfair. So the game wasn't very competitive because it was unfair. Because the more you played it, the better you were. Like it was almost like a pay to win, but more of like a play to win.
That's so weird.
It was really odd. It was a great game though. It was such a good game. I still have
Is it
it. I have it. I
360?
have it. I have it. If this is backwards compatible, I'm playing it at some point.
I'm
Yeah, I
surprised
think
it
it was
wasn't a big
360
hit because
actually. I think
naturally,
it might have been
obviously,
the transition actually between 360 and one. I think it was just
right.
before.
Okay, because I am surprised it wasn't a huge hit because it's obviously Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah,
Model N.
the art is way too complicated on this for me to have guessed that. By the way.
Right.
So
Okay.
right, okay.
Well,
So I've now got to
fake
think
fan.
either
Fake fan.
okay, the theme is either fighting games or like Capcom related games. So I've got to think now. I think it's probably fighting games. Oh damn it! What? That's impossible. It just looks like a blue mask. It almost looks like Mandalorian's mask or helmet. That's literally. It looks like either it looks like a blue Spartan. I don't know. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? That's tiny. What? Like you can't even squint like this. I'd have to be like miles back for me to be able to like tell what this was. I'd literally have to put my bloody laptop on the other end of the room
Right.
for me to even squint and
Here's the
see.
clue, although you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
First two words that came out your mouth. Blue
Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
and
Helmet.
a mask.
Oh, blue mask. I've actually got an answer, but I don't think this is actually a game that ever existed. So I'll try that.
Okay.
But give me a
Okay.
sec.
All right. I will also give you another clue because I'm a generous person.
A gentleman.
The themes you're thinking of might not be right.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably why I was getting confused. These might just be games that I've played before that are in my bloody achievements list. That's probably what it is. I reckon they're just games that are in my like random games from my achievements list. I bet it is because you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have even known that Street Fighter Cross Tekken existed unless you check my bloody thing.
I knew it existed, but I didn't know what the front cover looked like.
I'm honestly pissed because I don't know what this is. Blue mask is probably helpful, but not as helpful as I'd like it to be. Do you know what I'm going to guess? I'm going to
Okay.
guess this. And I don't think it's
Yeah.
right, but I'm going to guess too human, even though I know it's not right.
I'll give you a clue.
Go on then.
Nah, I won't actually.
Yeah,
sorry.
don't. I'm gonna guess it's too human, but it's not. I know it isn't.
It is Sly Cooper.
Do you know?
And
I
the Thievius
genuinely was
Raccoon.
thinking this because why didn't I say it?
Blue mask, bro. Blue mask.
Do you know what's funny? The second you said blue mask, I thought to myself, what about that character that was in Ghost of Tsushima that they did the reference to? And I was trying to remember what the name was. I knew it was something Cooper, but I couldn't remember it was Sly. I genuinely had.
Okay.
Do you know what's funny about this? The raccoon thing I said a second ago. Now, but like, it's kind of creepy, isn't it? It's kind of like
Yeah,
fortuitous.
Right.
I don't
last
actually
one,
know what
Jay.
the theme is now.
Okay.
The theme is
Last
just
one.
difficult front covers. That's all it is. Oh my god. What in god? Okay, this is just ridiculous now.
Uh,
I don't know. I look like De Niro.
Describe it. Describe.
You talking to
How
me?
you doing?
Talking to
Describe
me?
it to the people.
It's like there's like just grey and yellow. It's literally like, it just looks like a yellow.
Second one.
Okay, actually, I've got a bit of a thing here. So in the bottom right, there's a yellow block,
Yeah.
which probably means this is a PlayStation 1 game. Because you've almost got that black and white border as well. So I have a feeling this is a PlayStation. We're going backwards in time.
It's not PlayStation 1.
Well, it almost must be. The way
I'm
that the
trying to give you
cover
a
is
clue.
designed here. You've completely thrown me off now. I was convinced this was a PS1 game. Okay, I have a guess, but only because of the color scheme.
Okay.
I think it's a Deus Ex game.
Okay.
It's probably
So
not, but that's
we've got
all I'm
yellow.
going on.
We've got yellow. Okay.
For some reason, I want to say it almost might be Remember Me as well, but only because of the color scheme.
That's not a million miles away from
Yeah.
the front. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
So, it's a PS3 360 generation game.
Damn it. Okay, that's helpful.
And the clue...
this is like
no.
Is it Fracture? Is that what it's
No,
called?
but that's a hell of a shout out.
Yeah, I remember the cover being grey, and then there was like they had like a guy with like a broken yellow mask. It's almost exactly the same as this kind of thing here.
Yeah, I know what you're on about.
Is that what it was called? It was called Fracture, right?
Haze?
No, Haze. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was getting mixed up because the Fracture thing, I think, was a thing where you could like either raise or lower the level of the ground. That's what Fracture was, I think. But yeah, Haze is what I was talking about. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, is this okay? Is this black? Maybe no. Black didn't have it had the gold on it, but it didn't have yellow on it.
In terms of the theme, you might not know this, but what I would say is think about the second game. Think about the second game.
Is it just?
And think about what you talked about, and try and put some of those things together. I would say.
Well, these are games that are like crossovers, right? Because Sly Cooper was in Ghost of Tsushima, and then obviously Tekken and oh fuck me. Well, what then? Fucking. You're just ruining my vibe, Nick. I had a thing just then. I was on
I'm
one.
not trying to. It's not a million miles away.
What from
but
crossover?
We are going to have a guess now, Jay. We are going to have.
I don't know. Deus Ex is all I got. That's all I got.
All right. Jay.
I'm gonna be pissed if I know what this is.
Before I reveal the game, El's gonna be happy. He's like, he's not gonna get any of them, and you didn't get any of them.
Yeah, you won this time.
He was like, you need to make him easy. I was like, nah, Jay will get him.
Screw
this
you.
game
I'm gonna be
and
so
the
pissed.
last game were developed by the same developer studio as was
I don't know who
the
that
first
is.
game.
Of course, it's the same developer. Of course it is. What, Capcom? Capcom
Who's
didn't make Sly, did he? Or they're just a publisher.
Who's the developer of Sly Cooper?
I don't know who the developer of Sly Cooper is. The same as Ghosts, probably.
And who's that?
I always forget.
Sucker Punch!
Sucker Punch, okay.
And this game is
What is Sucker Punch? Infamous. Oh, you bastard. I love Infamous 2. It's probably one of my favorite platinums ever. Because I played the DLC. I played the standalone DLC as well.
Dude, I told El to do First Light as one of the covers.
It's really, yeah, he should have done that. Would have been awesome.
Yeah, that was a hard round. I will make it slightly easier next time.
I liked it though. That was good. It was a good trip down memory lane, as it were. I feel like the Pixel Perfect always is, honestly. That was fun.
Good. Right, Jay. We're going to call it there.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time and your Pokemon pastures, as always.
Pokemon passion.
Pokemon passion.
In the Pokemon pasture.
The Pokemon Passion Police. We will see you maybe next week. I don't know when we'll see you, but you'll know when we know.
Yeah, Nick's sorting his life out, I guess.
Yeah, correct.
Oh my god.
Speak to you later. Maybe with a new game next week. Probably not. But anyway, we'll see you next
week.
Honestly,
I have to be in the right mood. So whatever happens, happens. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Peace.
Right.